Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Jonathan Gan, together with Nadia Hassan and Sulhi Azman, where we help you navigate just a little bit the maze of the Malaysian market.
Have you watched Maze Runner, speaking of that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, there's another good movie on called Everest, and the reason I mention it is because Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, and he's climbing Everest, and that's what we are looking at today. World Bank has downgraded, even though the market's actually ended up.
So the thing is that Bursa is actually in line with the regional trend. I think this is possibly because the prospect of the imminent rate hike has been delayed. So
I think actually Sulhi's been watching it over the weekend. So what is Yellen and crew up to?
That's right, guys. You know, today the FBM KLCI today closed nearly 19 points higher at 1,647.59 points, in line with the stronger regional market. A total of 1.91 billion shares, worth some 1.86 billion shares were traded today. Now, against outnumbered losers, with 601 counters closed higher, while 236 counters closed lower. Now, guys, today there was a Khazanah Megatrend Forum, and you know, CIMB Group Chairman Datuk Sri Najib Razak, who happens to be the brother of the Prime Minister, Sri Najib Razak, says that ringgit, number one, ringgit should not be pegged, and number two, that Janet Yellen, to answer your question earlier, should not wait any further in increasing the rate hike. You know, Malaysia's ringgit is the worst currency performer in the ASEAN region. If you look at the chart tabulated by DBS Research, which is on your screen now, Malaysian ringgit was down 20.3% year to date, followed by Indonesia's rupiah, Thailand baht, Korean won, and Singapore dollars.
But see how little it was down. 6.9% for SGD, ringgit's 20.3. Come on, guys. You know, you don't have to sound the warning bells.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but then again, I mean, the prospect of the US rate hike did not inspire the Fed jobs of the US data today. Now, if you look at the unemployment, it was 5.1%. Now, just to wrap it up, guys, you know, at the same time, signs of progress in trade negotiations between Pacific nations boosted the overall sentiment. We saw Nikkei went up 230 points, Hang Seng up 348 points, Kospi and SGX were also up today. Back to you guys.
So Nadia, on to our hot stock today, which rose nearly 10% on the back of tin trades. We have Cycle and Carriage Bintang Bhd up nearly 10% once again at 2 ringgit 94 cent with about 500,000 shares traded.
I think it was 5,000, wasn't it?
Okay.
Was it quite a few? But anyway, the
it's
volume was very thin. Oh, 2 zeros, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. So the Edge Weekly had reported on this Saturday that its year-to-date increase of more than 60% in terms of its sales for its Mercedes marques. So we see about 8,000 units sold, and its VP of sales, Mark Rain, has basically stated that the company's market share has grown to 1.9% in line with global growth.
Is it time to buy your Mercedes?
Looking at the prospects, no, I mean, personally, I don't think I would ever be able to afford a Mercedes, but I mean, it seems that the company is remarkably resilient in times where investment banks are downgrading the automotive sector.
Actually, it's quite impressive, right? The total industry volume for cars has fallen. Year to date, we saw something along the lines of 322,000 thereabouts. Last year, the full year was about 666, but I think HLB said that it would drop. So you do not have faith in the automotive sector?
No, I don't. But I just want to point out again, in terms of earnings, they have done very well this quarter, almost 973% in terms of its net profit.
Holy cow, right?
Yeah, that's amazing considering how the market is right now. Yeah.
I think they also got dividends as well. That's actually what helped kind of boost them. And in my mind, right, I think that in this kind of game, you have to be able to play for the long term. CNC is a name that we all know. So if they are still like not passing on their prices, they must do something right. But talking about car companies, let's not forget the story of Volkswagen. Even the greatest can fall from grace.
That's actually pretty true. But the interesting thing that the company has come up to say that it will not increase prices. And it actually says that it actually foresees no margin pressure in terms of the depreciating ringgit.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and you must be thinking it must be hurting them somewhere. But according to the quote from the VP, he says that we plan our hedging very carefully and we are confident that our margins will not be affected in the midterm.
Midterm, yeah. Long term, we have to see how they wear things out. I mean,
Correct.
For them, it's, like I said, you're a big name. I suppose if you wanted to buy a Mercedes-Benz, you would be in that class that you buy a Mercedes-Benz. It's not something you suddenly think about upgrading to. Hi, I have a Kanchil. I think I will aim for a Merc. It doesn't work that way. Your customers are of a certain caliber.
True, Nadia. So on that note, let us sum up. Basically, we find that in terms of Cycle and Carriage, its earnings were very impressive in light of an environment that's so bleak. The company is, of course, still faced with a sector with limited upsides. And we feel that if it can triumph in such conditions, it will actually demonstrate the resilience of their brand.